Yeah, so it's right around 9:15 p.m. on Thursday, February 3rd. And I always have these hunches. And as a trained, highly educated, and uh, highly experienced research scientist, you test out a theory. And if the test reveals that the theory is wrong, then you drop the theory. And if the test reveals that there is some kind of a statistically relevant pattern, then you keep digging. So what I did just now was go into my bathroom to try to use the toilet. That's a normal thing. And it had been really quiet around here all afternoon. In fact, there had been no noises, no fumes, nothing. The only thing that was weird was that the heat suddenly started skyrocketing in my unit at about 4:30 p.m. And it was 47, 48 degrees outside, so that was weird, and I had to call the office, and they turned it down. And just now at about 8:15 p.m., I went to my bathroom to try to use the toilet, and suddenly the psychopaths in Unit 78 and 76 started getting agitated. So I was like, wow, this is weird. They seem to know that I'm in my bathroom. So I started covering the toilet, and they became even more aggressive and agitated, making all kinds of banging noises. The resident of 78 spends hours in her bathroom making noises against the wall at key moments. It's not random. It took me a long time to figure out that she does this on purpose at certain key moments. And then the violent criminal downstairs in 76 who tried to break down my door a week ago started making violent banging noises as well. So I covered the toilet, and all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. Number 78 started blowing all kinds of crazy fumes through the shared wall of her bathroom with my kitchen area. The fumes are of something being burned or smoked. It's not marijuana, it's not cigarettes. It's some kind of unidentifiable chemical substance, and it was filling up my entire living space. And then the water from my tap suddenly started making me really sick as soon as I put my hands under it for like 15, 20 seconds. And that's a record. Usually it takes maybe 30, 45 seconds. This was like 15 seconds, and I had to go down the hall to rinse off my hands and to, just use a tap. The water from the bathroom down the hall does not make me sick. And then the heat suddenly started spiking again in this unit. Like, it's so hot in here right now. It's probably upwards of 82, 83 degrees. I've got the window open. I've got also the door to the hallway was open, air conditioner going. So after a quiet afternoon, all of this nuttiness is going on simply because I covered the toilet in my bathroom. So clearly they could see something. I mean, there was something there. There is something around that toilet. And the reactions that I got from 78, 76, and then some creep across the street keeps screaming at me. So just now, also when I came out of my bathroom after covering the toilet, some disgusting creep across the street started screaming, "Bitch, bitch, bitch." And it's probably the same creep that's always saying that they can see what I'm doing and know that I just scrubbed myself in the shower and stuff like that. These sick, creepy pieces of shit who obviously have nothing better to do than just perv all over whatever they possibly can perv on. This whole building complex, it's just a disgusting creep factory. These are just filthy turds. So basically a bunch of filthy turds. They're just disgusting. So yeah, I shouldn't be surprised that all this stuff is happening, but it's still, you pay rent. So I've always paid rent out of pocket. I've always been fully employed the entire time that I've lived here up until the pandemic. And when I moved in, I was working about 70 hours a week as a master's level research scientist for a pharmaceutical company. Then a couple years later, I switched to retail. Then a few years after that, I switched to education and consulting. And my most recent job was as a market research consultant. That was a year and a half ago. So the nut jobs in this building like to say that I'm crazy, but verifiably I'm not. Never had to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist in my entire life for anything. Was never referred to mental health services by a doctor. And I've had quite a few doctors working on my physical body, but they never referred me to any kind of psychiatric or social services for any reason because they didn't need to. And obviously, in spite of the nuttiness around me, I'm perfectly fine. So this is just to document what's going on right now.